Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? Let's see. Let's get the screen share going. We doing today? Yes, sir. It's Wednesday, July 24th. I know every Wednesday we do these calls. I missed last Wednesday. I was out of town. Very important business, but we're back at it. We're back at it again, right? 6:02 in the morning. Was good, was good. Xavier Bavik, what's up? What's up? How we feeling? How we doing? But let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. As people trickle in, again, go ahead, do me a favor, share this with each and every single person that you can. Let's get it popping. Let's start off with the Nasdaq 100. Man, you already know what time it is. But as we can see, Nas has been in the same zone for a while. Right? It's been about since June 12th. I'd say it's been consolidating for about 45 days. It has had a strong push to the upside, but it also has come right back to the same zones that we've been looking at. And it may go lower. It may go a little bit lower, right? We're looking at this on the higher time frames here. And for me personally, if the daily candle closes beneath these lows here, that's going to let us know that price wants to go lower, possibly to the next buy zone, which would be down here, right? Why is that? Because we have the structure, right? We have the high, the low, the higher high. If you break that structure, if you break these lows and get that change of character, that's going to let us know that price can possibly continue lower. At the same time, though, we are right at the cutoff, right? This is the last possible area where price could hold, right? This is the last possible area. So I'm very, very excited to see what happens during New York Open because this right here can let us know if we're gonna hold this structure. This is the stop loss, right? It's already been wicked, but we need a full body candle to close beneath that. So we'll see. Right, Nas has been, in this zone. I want to compare it to S&P as well. Right, S&P we actually have a lot more space to go. Right, we have a lot more space to go. This may hold more than Nas, and then same thing with US 30. Our US 30 has, it's already flown so much. It's already flown so much from the previous zones ever since I'd say since the beginning of the month. Over 2,000 pips. Right, over 2,000 pips. But I do still like buys overall, right? This is a very bullish structure on all indices, right? So I don't mind, small pullbacks to reposition for better positions later on down the line, right? As far as buys go with Nas, the me personally, I would love for price to come back down here, right? We have the zone here. Boom. Once that happens, this whole area is valid for buys. I would love for price to come back down there, right? And if we were to draw the Fibonacci from that wick all the way to the top, we're at the 50% right now, right? The 50% Fibonacci is the minimum pullback requirement to enter trades, right? That's a healthy retracement, 50% and below. Anytime you guys buy groceries or clothes or food, you want to look for the discount. You want to find the discount. You want to get half off, 60% off as much as possible. So right now we are at that half off mark. And if you even dive deeper, we do have an imbalance right here as well. So price could be coming into here to tap into this internal liquidity to take price higher. Let's go ahead and mark that up for the visual learners, including myself, right? Institutional, another one here. Boom. So this zone here is valid. If price came into there, I wouldn't be surprised. It already did. It's slightly tapped into it, but let's go to the smaller time frames real quick. I just want to see. I just want to see what it's looking like down here. So in order for price to really, oof, it kind of already gave it. All right, this is the last possible buy that we can take before it's like, all right, just let it keep dropping. Right. The reason why I say that is because again, the structure that we look for when it comes to taking buys is, of course, some sort of consolidation, some lows, some highs, some support, resistance, and then the lows get swept. Right, the lows get swept with a wick, most likely, right, and then automatically pushes to the upside. Once that happens, then we can go ahead and mark up our support and resistance and just make a box around that. That now becomes our zone to buy, right? That is basic market structure, right? The market cannot move up or down without first creating this setup, right? I've never seen price move in an upward direction without first creating this, and then vice versa for sales. So if we're able to identify this on any chart, any stock, any crypto, you're on the right path. And then once you got that locked down, go ahead and add on your other special sauce, right? So let's go ahead and mark up this because we see it here as well, right? We have consolidation, support, resistance, support, resistance. We sweep the lows and then boom, we break above, right? So automatically marking up that change of character or the high that was broken and also the low. So this is going to be the new zone on the 1 minute chart to get that last minute buy opportunity. If this setup gets stop loss, then I will look for higher time frame setups. But we're right at the end, right? We're right at the stop loss on the 4 hour time frame. Of course, you want to do a 1 to 3, right? Always have one position closed out at a 1 to 3 and let the rest ride out. Right, this is the last possible setup because if you go to the 4 hour chart, we're right at the stop loss. Right, we're right at the stop loss. Everything I just marked up is right here. This is the stop loss, this red line. So let's see. NAS is notorious for this. NAS is notorious for this. It did this, I think it did this last week or 2 weeks ago. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It was literally at the stop loss and then price went crazy. Yep, right in here. Price, this red line was the stop loss, right? And price literally came down with a wick and then gave an inverted setup and took off for, let me see how many pips, a couple hundred pips, 300 pips, right? So that's why we like to make sure we analyze what's happening right there, right? Very, very important. Very important. Let's go back down there real quick. Just want to see. I'm going to put an alert there as well, just in case we get caught up in other charts, we're able to still capitalize on this. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How we feeling? How we doing? I know someone asked me yesterday, where do I put my notifications? Right? Because I know people are busy, people are out, people are at work, they're getting ready for work, and they're going to school, they're commuting, whatever. Maybe they're looking at different charts, so you don't have time to sit here and just stare at NASDAQ. So I do like to put my alert right here. So then once it notifies me, I can either get in or do a buy limit or observe price action while it's here. So we are getting fairly close. This is about a 22 pip stop loss. And, if you're doing a 1 to 3, 22 times 3 is what, 66, right? It was you, Raj. Good morning. Good morning. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now for NAS. This is the last possible buy before higher time frame just takes over. Right, higher time frame takes over. Right, we do have a daily imbalance here as well that price could potentially play with. Right, I wouldn't be surprised if you get something like this inside of the imbalance. Right, don't mind that either. But again, the best buys would be down here, right? The best buys would be down here. Looking at the line chart, let's go to the 4 hour. Looks better. Right, looking at the line chart, we do have a setup, right? We have the low with that wick. We have the high. We swept it, and then we broke above, right? So all this is potential buys. It did mitigate already a couple times, but that's fine. Perfectly fine. I know some people were asking, like, oh, if price comes back to your zone, is that still valid? It definitely is. It definitely is. Right. A prime example is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a perfect example. Let's go down here. So Bitcoin is way up here at the 66. It's pushing right now. It may break these highs. But down here, let's go to the weekly. There was a time where we had a setup. Right? We had a setup, we had a low, we had a high, and then we swept those lows and then broke above. So what did we do? We drew out the change of character with this black line and the lows. Most people, they say, oh, okay, if price hits my zone and takes off, it's done. The trade is over. If it comes back there, I'm not going to enter again. It already mitigated. But in this case, Bitcoin came back at least once, twice, three times into your zone before taking off. So I know for a fact, and this is not just Bitcoin, it's on everything. I've back tested this, right? But it doesn't matter how many times the price comes back to your zone. This is the weekly chart. So like 10 weeks went by. Imagine being in profit for 10 weeks and then price comes back to your entry. Are you going to get in again? Or are you going to say, oh, it already hit my zone. I'm not going to enter the trade. It already mitigated. I'm done. Like, no, it's still valid. Why is it still valid? Because your stop loss was never hit. So why are we not taking the trade? Right? If your setup is there and your stop loss wasn't hit, why would you not take the trade? I don't care if it was mitigated or like whatever. It's still valid. And you can back test this on anything. I think even gold did it. Gold did it a bunch of times, over and over and over. Every pair has done this. Let me see. You can pull up several examples. Right? Gold did it down here. Right? This is nasty. To change a character. That's the low that was swept. Stop loss right in there at that wick. Boom. What? Here it is. Why we had the low, the high. We swept it, broke above. Boom. The setup is activated. What happened? Price came back into our zone several times, like 3 months. This is the monthly chart. So 1 month, 2 months, 3 months in the zone. Price goes bullish for damn near a whole year. Comes back into your zone again. Are you gonna enter? I'm like, oh no, it already mitigated. I'm done. Like, no, your stop loss was never even hit, my friend. Get in there. And then what happens after that? Gold never comes back again. It's gone. Right. And this is gonna happen on every time frame. This is the monthly chart. Imagine not entering this trade because it already you already got it over here and you made money and you're like, okay, I'm done. So when it comes back, you're like, nah, I'm not taking that. Bro, you missed out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Right. If I knew what I knew now back then, oh, I'd still be in this trade. Right, this is what 2018. Yeah, I started trading in 2020, and I didn't even learn what I learned now until like 2 years ago, if that. I didn't have someone sitting down with me doing one-on-one, showing me exactly what I need to look for in the markets. So if you're on this call, you're blessed because you are bypassing all the nonsense and the trading gurus and everyone who wants to make trading hard and complicated and all these like, bro, just show me the setup. Show me the setup. That's it. Stop the BS. But it's 6:16. The market opens in 14 minutes officially. New York session. So we are still hovering around this. Price could easily fall back in here with the wick and take off. So we'll see. We'll see what they want to do. right? Let me check on, and of course, if there's anyone in the chat who has questions, you guys have any charts that you want me to go over and look at, feel free to drop it in the chat. Let me know. We got some time to kill here. Let's check on gold again. Oof. Yeah, gold is nasty. Gold was consolidating for a while, right? For a long while. We had, again, the same setup over and over, right? We had the low, the high. We swept the lows, broke above. And imagine being in drawdown or consolidation for 51 days. 51 days of gold going up and down, up and down. A lot of people are getting emotionally involved. They're trading against the trend. They don't know what they're doing, right? Because they haven't taken the time to actually understand market structure. So they're in here playing hopscotch. They're in here playing tic-tac-toe, dominoes. They don't know what's going on. Uno, reverse four, draw four. They're being cooked, literally being cooked. But for the ones who know, right? Shout out to the ones who know. We're entering buys. We're in buys. I don't care what all this is noise, right? Overall, gold is bullish, right? It's overall been bullish since the beginning of the year, since before a lot of us were even born, right? It's just going up. Of course, they're going to be, all downs and things like that. Sheesh, did my mouse just die? That's crazy work. Hold on. I hope not. That would be insane. That would be crazy. All right, give me 1 second. I wish it would tell you, hey, by the way, your mouse is about to die. That would be some good information. Let me just check real quick. But yeah, go ahead, drop some questions in the chat while I figure this out. Let me see. Get this going. All right, let me just check the battery. Doesn't tell me. It says it's at 91%. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. I know it. I'll be charging. They'll be charging all night. All right. But yeah, back to gold. Back to gold. Yeah, gold has been going crazy. I know we called out this trade a couple weeks ago as well. Right, we're right in here. And again, look how many times the stop loss was wicked. Right in here, right? Same setup, multiple times. Right, we had a low, a high. We swept it. I mean, broke above right over here. Price came right back with the wick, took off. Came right back again. Wick took off. One last time on the stop loss with the wick, took off. Right? Hasn't come back since. Hasn't come back since. And it's been holding. It's been holding. I still like gold buys, right? The all-time highs have been cracked once again back here. So hey, keep it going. I'm here for it. Just me personally, I would still look for buys. There's more buy setups here as well. Like if I mark this up right now, I'm sure y'all can see it. I would ask for y'all to annotate and show me, but I'll do it for you since you can't. But here, like again, like you have a low or support, and then we have resistance or high. We sweep these lows, right? We sweep those lows, and then we eventually break above these highs here, all the way right here with this candle. So that is a valid buy setup. So what do? Gonna mark up that high. Boom. Mark up the low as well. Stop loss is gonna be right here with that wick. There it is. That's your setup. That's your setup. All right, entry point at the top or that change of character. We always do 1 to 3s. bare minimum. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. So when price does come back, which it did, came back a couple times right in there, it's valid. So if price does decide to work its way back down, we can get in again. This is the 1 hour chart. And as we go down to smaller time frames, I'm sure there's more and more setups. Right. There's more and more setups. Right. And balances right here. See prices in there right now. So it's doing its thing. Let's check on NAS real quick. It's starting to move up. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's gonna. We'll see if it comes back to the zone. It can. It's very possible, right? When the market opens, it starts being toxic. A lot of volatility, right? It's still there. Got some time, but it's slowly creeping up. Right? What a coincidence, right? It gave the setup, and then it starts to move. Like I said, typically, if you see price do this, it does move up, right? You always will see something like that first before price decides to move forward. And as you can see here, it is doing its thing. We haven't really gotten price to come back into the buy zone, right? But that's okay. You don't have to catch it on the 1 minute chart. We can catch it on the 5 or any time frame, doesn't matter, right? To make things even more valid, right? To make things even more valid, we have this consolidation, consolidation, right? We sweep that, and then we need to break above. That would be another setup, right? This right here is just the super sniper wick entry. If price does decide to do all this, that'll be awesome. But catching the trade down here would be that super sniper. You caught the daily wick, the weekly wick, no drawdown type. But I would love to see price work its way back up here, break above some highs to confirm, okay, now we want to go bullish. But it can't happen unless this happens down here. Right? We need this to hold. We need this to stay afloat. All right. Let's check on. You have 6 minutes left. The alert is there. The alert is there, so I'm not going to be too crazy with that. Let me see Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's been bullish. Bitcoin's been bullish for a while. It tapped into this weekly imbalance. Oh, that was quick. Let's see. Nasdaq it hit the buy zone. It's in there. So if you do decide to take this trade, it is active. It is active. Again, it's a 22 pip risk. Let me get in there. I'm gonna get in there. Super small risk. But it's a super small risk. It's only a couple pips. 5 minutes left. But this would be the best risk to reward. News at 8:45 as well. Nice. Nice. Hopefully the news, gives us more clarity of what's gonna happen. 5 minutes until New York session opens officially. But as you see, price is having a lot of respect inside of the zone. Once price entered the zone, it's pushing out right out. I hope y'all got in. Hope you got in. Right. That was probably the one chance. We'll see though. When the market opens, it does this thing. But yeah, the candle is moving. Booming. It's booming. Let me put another alert. I'm gonna do an alert at the end of this wick, just in case it does go lower. Me personally, I like to enter at the top of the zone and in the middle of the zone and then at the end. But that's because I split my trade into thirds. I'm not putting the full Lambo lot at the first touch. I always test trade just to be sure, just to be safe. So if it does go against me, I'm not gonna be upset, taking a huge loss. First trade of the day. Like, no, you're in Bitcoin sells and Nas buys. Nice, nice. But so far, we got a nice reaction. We have a 12 pip pump so far. Let me know if you guys are in this trade. Drop some heart emojis. Drop some ones if you guys are in the trade. Let me know who's in there. And drop a zero if you're not in the trade. If you're not in the trade, you're like, nah, I'm just watching, I'm observing. Drop a zero in the chat. Let me know. Okay, Zach. Only Zach's alive. Everyone else is just has it on. But yeah, let that run. It's we have 2 more minutes. Grab some water. Zach, Jason. What's up, Jason? So we got 2 people in. 2 minutes left until we open up. Let me drag this out real quick. Drag this to like 7. What would it be in MT5? What would what be in MT5? As far as like the entry? The best thing I can recommend is you have to find the same structure on your MT5. Every broker is different. NAS 100, US 100. Let me check mine. It also depends on your broker. Mine is US Tech 100. I'll type it in the chat. For my broker, it's this. It can be NAS 100, US 100. Yeah, I have OX securities too. Yeah, mine was let's double check. Yes, 1947546 or 75. There you go. 30 seconds. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Are we gonna blow past this and continue bullish, or just get clapped and just it is what it is? We'll find out. We're gonna find out here real soon. Really, really soon. 5 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 seconds. So far, it's looking good. Look at the rejection. All right, it's open. We're back in the buy zones. That was like your second chance to get in. Sheesh. It is flying. It's flying. What's up, Manny? We just missed it, man. Everyone just got into this trade. Ooh, let's go. 18, 19 pips. Let's go. Let's keep it pushing. We sold all night. Okay, it's confused, right? It's giving us 2 sides. Currently at work, it's all good. No worries. Indecision. Indecision. Now it's back. Okay, okay. Again, this is the 1-minute chart, so of course you're going to see crazy movement. Let's see what they want to do. Do they want to keep it in there? Do they want to take it out? What is the word? I'm on the 5-minute now, going to the 15-minute. Let me go back to the 5. I like to keep the charts looking clean, so I don't want to have lines that don't make sense on higher time frames. Ooh, nasty work. 20 pips. 20 pips. I hope y'all are in this. Hope y'all are in this. I know we have Zach in here. We have Jason in the trade as well. I know Sonia's in there. I really want to see this 5 minute candle close above these highs. I want to see price close above these highs with a full body candle, not just a wick. That's going to give more confirmation of bullishness. We need that. Got to close above that. This is very undecisive right now. A lot of opinions in there. I couldn't answer because I went to feed my cat. Okay. Hey, cats got to eat. You got to feed your cat, man. Every day. Every day. You feed your cat like cat food or like human food? I know some people be giving their dogs like steak, rice, broccoli. I'm like, okay. Okay. Because if I was a pet, I'd be pissed eating the same food every day. Like, damn, is this it? Is there more? All right, back in there. Oh, I'm wilding. That's crazy. I'm right though. I'm right. Naz is it's deep in there now. If you weren't in before, this is gonna be the best risk to reward. I feed my cat a couple minutes before his own hit. Spoiled as some chicken every once in a while. Okay. Naz did the most disrespectful thing. It literally tapped the stop loss. And this is another thing that happens. Like for the stop loss to be violated, it has a full body candle has to close on the stop loss. It can't be a wick, it has to be a full body candle. And since this is, let me see, technically it is a 5 minute setup. So it would have to be a 5 minute candle. The reason why I say it's a 5 minute setup is because you can still see the high and low wicks on the 5 minute. If I go to the 15, you can't see it. This is disgusting. Yeah, let me get out. I'm out of this one for sure. It's all good though. It's all good. That was like the last possible buy on Nas. But let me see. See how it looks. Let me check out US 30 real quick. Ooh, US 30. Same thing. It was going crazy. You just missed that. And then SPX still in the buy zone. SPX holding on for dear life, right? Low, high, swept, broke above. Okay, now we're going into this daily imbalance. We're in the daily imbalance. If this daily candle closes the way that it is, yeah, under leverage, yeah, please. You always have to do a test trade. Don't drop the whole lot, crazy lot on that first trade, right? But yeah, if this current daily candle closes beneath, these lows, that could be giving us a higher time frame change of character to the downside. Let me see the daily chart, right? Because we would have the shoulder zone here, the head, and then we have to close beneath the lows. And then when price comes back, then it would make sense to take sells here, but I would still be holding buys if we do catch a buy zone or catch a buy zone in there. But me personally, I'm not gonna sell. I'm never gonna sell Nas ever again. I'm just gonna wait for the next best buy. So I'll let you guys take the sells, drop it lower, and then when the buys come up, I'll be in there. I'm trying to position myself the same way like what happened with the pandemic, right? The pandemic was back here, right? And the price has never come back in 4 years, 5 years. This is the kind of trade I'm trying to be in. I'm not trying to trade all day, every day, looking for a setup, stressing myself out. No, I just want to check my phone. I'm like, oh, it's still going up. Or, oh, it gave a small pullback. Sure. Let's get in again. But this was the pandemic entry back here, right? The specific pandemic date was right here. And when it dropped very hard and it dropped right into the buy zone, right? For many people, they're like, oh, well, it hit my zone and it took off. It already mitigated. So when it comes back, I'm not going to get in. Like, no, fam, the stop loss was never hit. Get in there. Get in. Exactly. Long term investing, but with leverage. Right. And of course, that's why you take multiple entries so you can cash out whenever. Right. If you have just one trade in there holding, then you have to like close it out or partial out. But if you have three trades in the same zone, you can close like two out, pay yourself, and then let the last one ride out. Easy. And just repeat that process every week, every month. Doesn't matter how often. And it's just gonna stack up. So super solid. No worries. If you were tuned in with us the past couple of weeks, we did clap these buys up. We were going crazy. This whole zone was buys. We worked our way back down there. Right. We had a nasty sell-off, right? We had the high, the low, swept above. We did break below right there, and then we tested a couple times, like several times, and finally dropped off. And and it is still dropping. I didn't take the sells because again, I'm not selling NAS. I'm just waiting for the next buys. And yeah, super nasty melt. So at this point, I would just let NAS do its thing. Keep letting NAS drop until we see this. Right? I need everyone to do me a favor, especially if you're in the chats, on the Telegram chats. When you see NAS on any time frame start giving us some consolidation, and then we sweep the lows and we break above, drop that in the chat. Let people know, right? And then you would mark up the lows or the highs. Boom, boom. Stop loss. You know where the stop loss is. Once y'all start seeing that, drop it in the chats. Don't wait for me. I see it. I see it. But I want to know if y'all see it. All right. I'm here to make sure y'all can see it just as good as I. It's all about duplication. It don't matter if I can see it. What matters is if I can teach y'all to see it as well. It took me, again, 4 years to learn that. A lot of y'all are learning this in your first month, your first week, your first year. So the learning curve has been cut exponentially. Exponentially. And this can even be another setup, right? Consolidation, right? We sweep the lows, break above. Now this whole zone turns into the buy zone. All right, that's if that happens. Because right now it's pushing, but we'll see. It may just consolidate. Let me look over here. What's over here? It's probably something. Yep, I'm sure there's like another buy setup here on a smaller time frame. But I'm gonna leave NAS alone for the day. Let it cool off. I wasn't really expecting too much since it's been running like crazy. It's been running like crazy. Almost no pullbacks. Like if you go to the monthly chart or the weekly chart, right? It's been bullish for 1, 2, 3, for like 4 months up, and then it started to give some pullback. So again, I would love to catch the buys down here or here as well off this starting point or order block. Would not mind that. Would not mind that. Let's check on Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks good though to keep pushing higher. for sure. Especially after we got the change of character over the weekend. It was nasty. It was nasty. Right. It all started off down here with that first change of character. Right. We had the low, high, swept, and then we broke above. Right. Broke above over here. And then price proceeded to push higher. If that wasn't enough confirmation for you, you're like, you know what? I don't believe that. Then wait, right? Because we had another low right here with that wick, and then we had the high here. We swept those lows, we broke above, we tested a couple times, and then took off. So again, Bitcoin is also a very bullish asset. I mean, personally, I'm not selling Bitcoin either. I'm just gonna wait for the next buys. The buys already took place though. They took place around 60. Actually, it took place down here like 50. If you're really paying attention, right, you could have bought Bitcoin when it came into this imbalance around like 55. Right, I know we dropped this in the chat as well. Right, it's a monthly imbalance. Right, the monthly imbalance right in here. Price came into that and took off. 7 days left on this monthly candle, and it looks very bullish. We might even engulf the previous bearish candle, and if we do, it's gone. So I think this was like the last opportunity to buy Bitcoin at a good price for a while. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, once the elections happen, it's Bitcoin's gonna melt," and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what the chart says. I'm not gonna let people. People always want to predict and speculate, but what does the chart say? Show me the setup before you tell me your guess or your speculation. Show me the setup that you see that makes what you said make sense. Because if it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. So I want to make sure that there's always a setup backed by what you said. Because if there's not, then you're just guessing and going off feelings. And I feel like no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I don't care. Show me the setup. But yeah, gold is flying as well. I can definitely see gold continue to push. Let me see. It actually did come to the zone. It didn't come back though for us. Right. This would have been the entry. Let me put this. This is the gold setup. Bitcoin is already too high, so you gotta wait. Right. Low high, we swept, broke above, waiting for that re-entry, but it just hasn't come back yet. Let's check on NAS real quick. Still in there. Can't really do much with that. But if you go to the 1 minute chart, if you really want to get in there, like, hey, enter these buys, what do we have here? We have a low, a high, swept it, broke above. We would need that to happen in order for price to confirm this. You're in there. You're in gold, and since like 6 bet. Good stuff. Good stuff. We'll see what happens. It looks like NAS wants to push up from this zone. So in order for these buys to be like, I wouldn't just get in just because, oh, it's going up. Let me just get in. Like, no, you want to wait for the confirmation, which would be a change of character above that candle, right? You would need that because we had a massive sell-off to that wick or that low. And then we had a push up to this wick or to this lower high. And then we swept those lows right here. So if we break above here, that will give us the setup and then set a buy limit or an alert. So when price does come back down to retest that, you can enter the trade and take it higher. So let me go ahead and mark this up as if we already got the confirmation. And then stop loss will be down here. But again, I wouldn't just enter buys just because you see it moving up. You want to wait. Exercise the patience because you never know. It could still drop, right? We have a nasty imbalance here as well. Price has filled this imbalance multiple times, and this could hold. and continue, or we can just say, screw that. We're pushing. We're pushing. Pushing P. Very curious to see what they're gonna do though. And you see how like on the 5 minute chart, I can't even see like the wicks. That means that this setup is only a 1 minute setup because I can't see it on the 5 minute. So I'm gonna make these lines visible only on the 1 minute and below. If I were able to see the change of character and the low on like the 15 minute, then this will be a 15 minute setup, but you can't. You can only see it on the 1 minute. But yeah, we would need that for sure. And that's why you don't just take trades because oh it's going up. That's how people get trapped. Imagine buying it here because you saw it pushing and then now this happened. That's how you get trapped. Let's see. What is US 30 up to? Dirty 30. It's a lot more bullish for sure. Same scenario. We would need some more confirmations. Just doesn't, I don't like the structure on here. Just looks like it's struggling. Let me go to the 5 minute. It kind of gave us confirmations before. I see some here. Oh. You're going to see some smaller time frame structure setups. Let me show you real quick. Right, we had lows, highs, swept it, broke above over here. So if we were to draw this out, you know, you had plenty of opportunity to take those, but it's just very choppy, very choppy. And then someone said we have news at 8:30. Let's check it out. Well, so as far as red folders go, Wednesday, this is not the right time zone. It is not. Yeah, this is Forex Factory right here. You check the news on here. Me personally, I don't check the news because at the end of the day, like it's all about structure. The news just allows for more volatility. I haven't checked the news in like a year. You know, I think the news is just another distraction. Because they always say news is the excuse. Well, if news is the excuse, then to me that's a distraction. What does the structure say? You can't see it. Ah, it's only letting me share this screen here. Let me see. I would have to stop sharing and then open up. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'll leave it on the NASDAQ, leave it on the chart. I'm still getting used to the YouTube. I know on Zoom, when you share something on Zoom, you can like share the whole screen and then but with YouTube, it only lets you share like one tab. So I'm still learning. But if you guys have any tips, let me know. I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out soon. I'll ask Chat GPT. Oh, look at Nas though. See how it swept the stop loss with the wick, but no full body candle close beneath it? That means this trade is still valid, but it's not even a valid trade yet until we get the change of character. But that's just some food for thought. That's crazy. We might get this confirmation before 7 a.m. It'll be very interesting. Another tip too, like if you can't see the setup, go to the line chart. You'll see it. Like for instance, let's find a previous setup and then go to the line chart. Go to like to the 4 hour. So let's look over here. Right, this was the first setup, the first initial setup on the 1 hour. Again, just to show you real quick, we had a low, the high, we swept the lows, and we broke above right here with this candle. This candle broke above the highs with a full body candle. So when that happened, that's how we're able to enter these trades. And look how many times price touched the entry. It was like 5 times, right? But if you can't see the setup, go to the line chart. You see it more and more, right? Low, high, swept, low, high, swept, right? You'll see it so many times, right? This was nasty as well, right? Consolidation, low, high, low, high, low, high. We swept it, went bullish. Same thing here, right? It's consolidation, low, high, low, high. We swept the lows and we broke above. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. This was a nasty play. Golly, gone. Price flew. That was like the most fun trade I took in a while. Having no drawdown and seeing prices fly 500 pips. It's nasty. It's nasty. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have any questions before I let you go? We're just waiting now. Just waiting. Price has kind of cooled off. It's like consolidating in the zone, right? It may break this and go lower, give some more consolidation. But do you guys have any questions? Any questions, comments, concerns? If not, I'll see y'all next Wednesday. I do want to make another video on market structure, but using actual live charts. I know the one I made before on the channel was just using like the line tool, and someone commented, "Oh, I can't understand this. I can't tell." I'm like, all right, bro, I got you. I'll make another one with just actual charts. But you guys have any suggestions? Let me know in the chat or comment on this video some suggestions or videos that you want me to make regarding the charts, and I'll get that going this week or this weekend. But super solid call. Nothing too crazy. We didn't get to, enjoy these buys too much. Nas decided to get us clapped, but it's all good. That's a prime example of why you test trade, right? Don't drop the Lambo lot on the first touch. But I'll see y'all next week. Let's get it.